and happy Tuesday. Yes, we are live here on YouTube and Instagram. And I am telling you, I am so glad to be live today. There is so much that has transpired in the past few days since Thursday. But you know what? Let's do some housekeeping first. I want to remind you that we still have the Good Morning author. We have our Kid Lit Elevate Mastermind that is still going on. We are in the month of February and we're talking about website design and, the reason for our websites. And it is actually our number one tool to be able to get information out. Yes, we use social media, we use word of mouth, we use so many other things. But if you're not pointing back to your website, that is a missed opportunity. And I don't know. Oh, you can see it maybe on Instagram here, but oh, yes, we got it on YouTube as well. I'm in my tutu today because you know what? I just needed to really be the tutu queen. And I'm going to be, doing some work after I get off this live. But there's just so much going on. And, I put in the description stronger together. And I'm going to get into that. Because, of course, most of the community here, most of the community that follows me are self-published indie authors. And I've been sounding the alarm and trying to get us together for the longest while. Most of you may know Read with Carylee is also a platform that not just serves me, but serves the community of self-published indie authors as well. We do have the Read with Carylee Children's Author Directory, where it's basically a one-stop shop. Authors can go and register so that they can be seen by the community. And one thing that I did was to make sure that this author directory is location based. So if you are in New Jersey and there's a teacher or a parent that is trying to find a children's author in New Jersey, they can find you. I was told by a parent last year that her daughter needed to do research and of people that lived in Virginia, of different artists and professions, and they needed to find an author who was from Virginia. And of course, in all my information, I do have that I am an author in Virginia, and they were able to find me and profile me, and she got my book, and that's how she found me. So I know that there are many schools that have projects like that, but even still, just to be able to be an author that can serve your local community with an author visit, a teacher can reach out. And I know it's definitely less expensive than getting an author from Scholastic and some of the other publishing companies. Now, yes, I'm about to go into it with Scholastic. Why do they continue to create harmful things that are not serving our community? A couple of years ago, like right before I launched, because I already had the children's author directory in the works, and Scholastic came out, and a lot of teachers and librarians were the ones that outed them. they came out and said that they were going to have an opt out option for schools, librarians, and teachers to not have diverse books in the Scholastic Book Fair. Now, you know, there may be different books that your child is able to have access to, and these Scholastic Book Fairs have been one that hey Brian, how you doing? These Scholastic Book Fairs have been one to be able to help children find out about different authors, find out about different books, and with them giving the option to not have diverse books, that is censoring not only their authors, but it's censoring what children have the ability to access. If a child of color or of a different disability or of a different culture or may learn differently do not find books that they can relate to, they may actually withdraw from reading. They may not feel that they are important enough. They may not feel that they're special. They may feel they may have an inferiority complex, which is the main reason why we want to have diverse books available to children so that they can see themselves in the books that they read. And that is the motto and the aim of Read with Carylee, to curate diverse books, so that children can see themselves in the books that they read. I started Read with Carylee. I started writing so that my children would be able to see themselves in the books that they read. I remember the first book that where I, kind of could not relate to, but I loved that book because of the characters that were in the book. And that book was Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. And, it was about slavery and this family that was trying to get out and was joining the Underground Railroad. And that was the first book that I read that had Black characters. Now, I did not grow up in slavery. I did not grow up in the civil rights movement. So why was it that I was able to gravitate to that? Because that book symbolized something to me. It symbolized hope. It symbolized determination. It symbolized people who looked like me that were willing and wanting to get out. And I kind of had real a defiant realization and a defiant message and a defiant will to go out and write books that didn't make children feel like they were inferior, or talked about experiences that they have every day. Pretty here, this little girl is going to school on the first day, and she is so excited to have cornrows. I know this was me. Honestly, like I said, in most of my books, I have a personal connection. I wish I had the picture here with me, and I'll possibly post it later. But this picture of the little girl with her hair in a crown, her hair braided in a crown, that was me. That was me. I, for picture day, begged my mother to braid my hair and have it in a tiara. By the time it got to me taking the pictures, it didn't really quite look like a tiara, but my mother did the best that she did. She had the braids connecting, and I tried my best to have it stay up, and that is something that stuck with me. So with writing pretty hair, I know that so many girls that look like me, they take pride in their hair, and they need to have their hair a certain way. I don't know about many of my Caucasian friends out there, but us black girls, it needs to be laid, and our edges need to be laid, and our curls need to be popping. And that's why I wove that into the story, so that a little girl like me can relate to that. The reason why I wrote Maya Sings Country, I've said it before, because I grew up listening a bit to country music. And of course, I didn't know about um the different artists that were in country music. Of course, my hair was a little bit like Maya's, although hers is dark. And one of the special things about Maya Sings Country, this teacher is my mom. She wasn't a music teacher, but she was an educator. She was Dr. Rose, and I made sure that she was in the book. When I wrote You Name It, Graham Made It, I have not seen a book where you have families, a black family coming together, multi-generational black family coming together to celebrate Thanksgiving. This is how, when I used to go to Thanksgiving with my cousins in the Bronx, we had multi generations. The families were coming together. They were playing dominoes, they were playing cards, and then we were all get together and eat Thanksgiving dinner. And this is something that is done nationwide, because, of course, the United States is the only country that really celebrates Thanksgiving. And we have Thanksgiving, and we have so many different cultures that that celebrate Thanksgiving. And I wanted to make sure that the Black culture had a book that celebrated the way we celebrate. It may not be the way that you celebrate across the street, or you may even have some differences, but I bet you can find similarities. If you are Black, white, Asian, Latino, you could find a similarity in this book. And, to make sure that our children have a sense of pride and a sense of knowing that they are special, knowing that their experiences are special, and they may not be as unique as they think. That there are people all over the country that may celebrate like them, and then there are people all over the country that are celebrating the same thing, but a little bit differently. So in that celebration, that is why we embrace the different celebrations that we have. We celebrate Black History Month. We celebrate Native American History Month. We celebrate Spanish Heritage Month. And that is slowly being stripped, no, not even slowly, it's been stripped away. I live in the area of the nation's capital. I live 40 minutes away from the White House. And federal agencies have been told to take down anything, any paraphernalia, and they cannot celebrate Black history. Now, there are a lot of institutions and a lot of companies that have come out and said, no, we're not going to do that, because we know the importance of celebrating Black history. And we know the significance. I'm like, if those who saw the Super Bowl did not get the message that the United States of America was built on the backs of Black slaves, the, the Capitol, the White House, almost every building that has any historical significance was built by slaves. People who did not get paid or get wages for the things that they did. And our history is being stripped from those hallowed halls. So this, I know I've been going on and kind of ranting, but I'm bringing it full circle here. I I was being a little cheeky at first and did a diss track, with Kendrick Lamar's They Not Like Us. And of course, yes, I did write a song, but and we'll see if it comes out because I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm not as young as I used to be, but maybe I need to tap into that. But I wrote, over his performance of They Not Like Us or Not Like Us during the Super Bowl, and kind of wrote exactly what I was thinking and what I was feeling when it came to book bans. And I called out Scholastic for what they did a few years ago and posed the question, really, like, are you still censoring your authors, giving teachers and librarians the option to opt out of diverse books? I was hoping that the answer would be no. We are not giving that option. I'm not sure about the options that may be having that they may be putting this year, or posing this year to teachers and librarians. I really would hope that teachers and librarians would let me know what they are hearing. But now, going on the Instagram page of Scholastic Books, there is no mention of Black history. There's no mention of Black History Month. What they are pushing right now is Clifford the Big Red Dog and Valentine's Day. All well and good, but not having a mention of Black History Month is unacceptable. You are showing us what your priorities are. You are showing us the commitment to children. You are showing us your commitment to literacy, freedom of speech, and your commitment to whitewashing of literature and history. You have made your stand, Scholastic. And this time, we're not going back. We're not going back. And today, right now, I am calling for a boycott of Scholastic. I am calling for teachers, students, parents, administrators, schools. I am calling for us to end I'm calling for us to end our support of Scholastic. If they can't support us and even celebrating Black history, then they need to not be supported at all. if they can't support their Black authors, they have censored Amanda Gorman. They have censored so many of their authors. They have put them on the back burner to be able to appease those who are going and wanting to ban books on the case of, oh, it makes us look bad. If your history makes you look bad, then you should choose to stand up and try to change it, not put it in the back. How can you learn if you are not learning from your history? And it really hurts. It really hurts me as an author to know that the books that you have purchased, the rights of books that you have purchased by authors, are being shelved. It's being put on the back burner because you don't want to stand up. How is a literary agency going to just fall to the whims of those who spread hatred and bigotry? What are you teaching our children? You are teaching our children that they should not have pride in themselves. You're teaching our children that they should not feel special. And I am so proud that with the Read with Carylee Children's Author Directory, we have diverse books of all genres for our children. We have books from authors all over the nation. And like I said, it's location based, and we're able to promote those authors in great ways because they are on the Children's Author Directory. This is where independent children's authors come to be seen. I say every time, like anything that any news piece that I'm a part of, I'm always talking about Read with Carylee and the Read with Carylee platform, not just because my name is on it, because we are trying to start a movement. Here we have one of the largest book publishers in the nation basically giving a slap in the face to all those authors that they claim to represent. How can authors then go and continue to do their work and continue to say, oh, hey, I'm on the New York Times bestseller list? They can't get on the New York Times bestseller list if they're being shelved by their publisher. So I'm asking all authors that follow me, you should be on the Read with Carylee Children's Author Directory. If parents, teachers, schools, administrators, community leaders, if you want to find an author in your area, we are location based. This is location based. So you can go to find an author and be able to put in your zip code and stretch it out as far as you need to be able to find an author that's near you. It's definitely going to be cheaper than having an author come from a big publisher. These authors are the authors in your community that are not just talking about children in your community, in your books, but they're also those authors that are economically developing your community. If you're not supporting your own, then how can the community continue to rise economically? And with everything that we see going on right now with the current administration and the blockades that we're having in the book bans, it is imperative that you're supporting the authors in your community and in your area. Now, I have experienced, I was on the ban list for Pretty Hair and Maya Sings Country because of the fact that they talk They don't really even talk about race, but it has a racial undertone, or it has celebrating children of color. There is nothing wrong in these books. We don't slam anybody in these books. Even with Pretty Hair, this is about a misunderstanding between two girls who become friends. It's about embracing the texture of children's hair. So, why is it that we are banning books? We're censoring. And like I said, it's basically whitewashing history. The United States is a nation of immigrants. When did we stop being a nation of immigrants? When did we stop welcoming people? And I grew up in New York, and there is the Statue of Liberty that says that we welcome you're tired, you're poor. We used to welcome all of those. And we would not be the United States of America if we did not have this mix of cultures. We would not have the inventions that we have. We would not have the food. And trust me, I am a foodie. And I love to be able to have things from different cultures on any day of the week. And we need to continue to teach our children not to censor those who we think should not have a voice. And I am here to tell you, as much as I am an advocate for children's literature, there may be some things that I would not read or give my children to read. That does not mean that someone else would not. That does not mean that we should stop and say, no, your book can't be seen because it talks about this. As much as we may not like something that may not be of our culture, or we may disagree, we still have to embrace each other. I saw a commercial. I'm not sure if it was from the Super Bowl, but it very well should have been. And it was, talking about the reverse of diversity. And instead of having, it was with a world that was based on people who had disabilities. All the books were in Braille, and people who did not read Braille could not read them. There were ramps everywhere for wheelchairs, and people who weren't in wheelchairs couldn't be able to walk and do the normal things that we take for granted, that others do not have the ability to. We need to stop segregating and doing away with things that are not like us, and embrace that. And, I know the song Not Like Us. Yeah, we sing it all the time. They're not like us. But it's not a song of saying, okay, we should do away with things that are not like us. It's saying that they don't want to see what is not like us. So I am imploring those to embrace what's not like us. We shouldn't be a part of the stereotype. We should be a part of coming together. And my time is running out. Oh my gosh, I talked a lot today. But, continue to support independent authors, continue to support the Read with Carylee Children's Author Directory. And really, like I said, I may just be one lowly author, but Scholastic, this is strike two, and you have got to do better. And until you do better, I will troll you. I will get my community behind it because it is important that we are celebrating everyone and to not be acknowledging Black History Month and all your Black authors and Black books is deplorable. And there needs to be a change. So join me again next time on Thursday. I will be here Thursday, 9 a.m. Make sure you're here. Thank you. Thank you so much for continuing to support independent authors, Black authors. Happy Black History Month. Tell somebody happy Black History Month. We are not doing away with this. And you know what? We should be embracing Black history, Black expression, Black culture every day because Black history is American history. And trust me, we would not be here without it. So have a great day. See you on Thursday. And remember to always grab a few books and read.